And welcome now to the ANZ Stadium in Brisbane for the clash they've all been waiting for. A big crowd is in. The Brisbane Broncos doing battle with the Canberra Raiders. They haven't played here since 1993. Tremendous atmosphere, big crowd. Here's the Broncos side. Khan, Hancock, Renoff, Smith, Saylor, Kevin Walters, Langer, Lazarus, Kerrod Walters, G, Thorne, Can, Ryan, and Wayne Bennett, the coach. Slightly overcast day. Breeze coming from the left of the screen. Ground in what appears perfect condition, although soft underfoot. And now, here they come, the Canberra Raiders, decimated by suspension and injuries. But they'll give a great account of themselves. Let's have a look at their team card. Mullins, Nagus, Croker is in the centres. Wiki, Nandruku, Daly, Ferris, Wesley, Wolford, Corvo, Hetherington, Kennedy, and Ferner is playing at the back of the scrum in 16 with Tim Sheens, the coach. Mark Oaten is the referee. He's been charged with one very big job. And so on Mother's Day 1996, Canberra takes on Brisbane. Big crowd. It's not probably of the proportions they thought, with the ball being played for the first time by the Brisbane side. And Ryan is dragged down on the second. Both sides obviously pumped up for the occasion. Thorne now just outside the 30-metre line. A second man play finds Lazarus. And so Brisbane taking it towards halfway, and they've used just about their first set. In fact, on the fourth, they've made the halfway. In the fifth, it is. Gary Belcher joins us in commentary for this match today.
Well, already, Ray, there, Canberra showing on fifth tackle that they're going to put the pressure on the kicking game. A very ordinary kick eventually from Darren Smith, and that's good field position for the Raiders. Looking forward to this clash, particularly up front, Ray. Some very skillful forwards, hard-hitting. We talk about the backs, the international backs, but the forwards have done some special things from both sides in the last few weeks.
Here's the young man that I'm expecting big things from, Ben Kennedy. Now we go across from Ferris onto Daly, and Daly then picking up the other front rower, David Wesley. 33 metres away from the Brisbane line. Canberra coming up with the football in good field position. They go down the blindside corridor as Mullins now finds himself on the fifth tackle, a dummy half. Into the hands of Daly and onto the foot. And the high kick coming on down. Oh! Great kick by Daly, but Willie Khan was equal to it.
He was a little bit further out than he would have liked to have been for that kick, Laurie Daly. Willie Khan, plenty of time to take it. Raiders players bearing down on him, but safe, very safe.
Now, the big winger, Saylor. And now from Kerrod Walters and Michael Hancock with the Kerrod Walters look-alike haircut. Walters, oh, Andrew G. Well done there by Kennedy. They go across from Wiki. Nandruku! They won't catch Nandruku! Nandruku scores a try, totally against the run of play. The mistake came from Andrew G. and Kerrod Walters.
Well, Ruben Wiki's the man that cleans it up. G just leaving that ball behind. You see, beautiful there, drawing two players and passing, and Nandruku just too fast for Alan Can in cover, never going to get him. But already a couple of mistakes, a poor kick early, and now that Andrew G error, well, perhaps the pass wasn't the best from Kerrod Walters, but he's done well there, Wiki, to slip it to Nandruku, and not bothering about the cover. He knows he's there. and just casually puts the ball down.
6th try of the season for Noah. Kennedy, he swooped on the loose ball, gave it to Wiki, and Wiki drew and passed. And then Nandruku. Great start for the Raiders. The pass from Kerrod Walters was about hip high, and Andrew G couldn't handle it. Ferner. 8 metres in from touch on the 20. It's a shocker. Early days, but Canberra, the outsiders for the day, lead Brisbane 4-0. Beautiful stuff, but Kerrod Walters and Andrew G, neither would be very happy. So Willie Kahn gets us going again. Brisbane running into the breeze. It's not that strong, but the kick had very little volume about it as Kennedy plays it, and now the number 10, Mark Corvo, goes to ground on his own 20-metre line.
I think something to consider, Ray. It's very rare that the Raiders would go into a match as underdogs. I think everybody's tipping Brisbane to win here. 5 internationals out of the Raiders side, but they are playing very, very good football early. Just very desperate football, chasing kicks. You see here, that's not a deep one, but it's going to put a lot of pressure on Willie Kahn.
And the Canberra chasers were onside, according to the referee. Kahn plays it now. Langer goes to dummy half, and Hancock brings it outside the 40-metre line. Stands resisting the tackle, and he's been made to play it now. Kerrod Walters catches the markers all over the place. That should have been a penalty to Brisbane. Langer is tackled on the halfway line. The crowd groans, and I agree with them. Now it goes away for Lazarus to hit it up, and Canberra come up quickly. Kerrod Walters now steering the ship on the blind side down the right of the ground. Peter Ryan, the lock forward, and now Langer, and he stabs a kick. It's meant for Wendell Saylor. It's got too much depth in it as Saylor comes screaming down the ground. Back to the 20-metre line then. Wolford, the number 9, stand in for Steve Walters, doing a great job. Now, here's a chance for Brisbane. No need for that from Canberra.
No, David Ferner being pushed back. A great tackle there. A couple of Brisbane players hitting Ferner hard. Brad Thorne and Kerrod Walters. Andrew G joins in, and he just throws a poor pass to Mark Corvo.
So this scrum is down on the Canberra 20-metre line as Langer works it off for Darren Smith to be taken by a good, strong Canberra tackle. They go down the blind side with Kevin Walters now. He took on the front rower, got a pass back for Saylor. Saylor is put down. 12 metres out from the Canberra line. Brisbane trailing by 4. Langer. G outside. Inside is Ryan. Ryan is with the football. And Mark Oaten goes in. Ryan not impressed with something from Wolford.
He's just given Simon Wolford a little clip. You can see what happened in that tackle. Oh, there's the swinging arm. He's hardly connected.
So Brisbane, as they always do, they take the quick tap. Test for the Canberra defences. The big bloke Lazarus, 2 metres from the line. Kerrod Walters. Was there a knock on? Through to his brother. On to Renouf. Renouf held by Nandruku. Now from Hancock. Hancock slams it down. Hancock has scored. 4 points all.
Well, how strong is this man? Perhaps a little knock on earlier on the play from the play the ball from Lazarus. Kerrod Walters. No, well, oh, Ray, it's a hard one to call. A little fumble maybe, but the ref hasn't seen it. Nandruku comes off the line too quick from marker and leaves a couple of defenders to do a big job. Ferner's one of them, and they just can't hold him, slamming it down.
great strength shown by Michael Hancock. When you take him on, you know he's never going to say die. But the try tinged with controversy. 9 out of 10 referees would have called a knock-on for mine. Mick Hancock. Willie Kahn. Kahn then. Chance to put them in front. Doesn't look all that bad. Well, it's hit the post and come down over the crossbar. And Willie nods approving. 6-4 Brisbane. Was this a knock-on? I say it was.
Oh, I agree with you there. A little fumble, yes. Okay, I guess you play to the refs' rulings.
Wait for him, wait for him.
David Furness starts after a controversial try. My belief is that Kerrod Walder's knocked on. As Gary Belcher commented, you play to the whistle. Darren Smith now. 22 metres out from the Brisbane line, so the crowd really have got the start they came for. Ryan. Now Kerrod Walters, who got a sloppy play the ball. And this is Alan Cann. Did well, got it away. Kerrod Walters on. And Saylor down the ground. 5 metres from the halfway. Kerrod Walters looks at the blind side. Picks up Langer on the open. And then a pass across for G. And then Kahn. They are hot at the moment. That's no knock on. Renouf loses his footing. And Renouf is pulled down 35 metres away from the Canberra line on 5. Brisbane then with the kick coming from Langer. He puts it back and across, and Nandruku is back inside his own 10-metre line. He runs across the park, and he's picked up there in defence, right on his own 10-metre line. Then through from Ferris on to Daly. Daly on to Croker. Croker and Saylor. They do combat, and Saylor might get penalised here. He has. That's silly from Wendell.
Well, he just went on with it a little bit too long. Always hard to tell when the referee is called held. The point is, has Jason Croker's momentum been stopped? And it probably was there before the last little push.
That's exactly right. People must remember the referee doesn't have to call held. Once the player being tackled his progress has been halted. And he's unable to promote the football. The tackle is deemed to have been completed. Saylor went on with it. He took the gamble. He paid the penalty. This is Corvo. 3 metres his side of halfway. They come right for Ferris to go on, for Daly to give it. And Kennedy is with it. He's touched the ball several times already. Daly and then Wolford, and then it's Furner. 40-metre line underneath him. They push themselves out of the road here to get into dummy half, and Wolford finishes up with it. Furner now on for Ferris, away for Daly. The kick high on tackle 5. Down to Willie Kahn. And Kahn has been taken by Croker, but the referee has ruled Jason Croker played at the man before he had the football.
Gee, there's only a split second in it too. Croker was looking at the ref just before this happened. But yeah, I agree, made contact with Willie Kahn. He's not been given a fair chance to catch the football just before it's in Kahn's hands. Croker's hit him.
Great ruling by Mark Alton. He got that one spot on correct. Now Kerrod Walters across for G, and then Ryan taken and put away on the 40-metre line. They're coming in waves, the forwards there. They're putting little passes together. Kahn Good tackle by Hetherington. Kerrod Walters goes back right. Thorne now. Thorne in the 11 jumper. Kevin Walters assembling on the right with Langer, but Kerrod goes the other way. Back for Thorne, then for Renouf! Renouf! Renouf, he'll score! Oh, the Prince! The newfound Prince of centres. He's opened them up.
Well, I tell you what, he saw half a back, half an opening. The crowd went up. I know I went up. Kerrod Walters has gone the wrong way here and knows it. But Brad Thorne just holds the pass up for Renouf. Look at him put the foot down. Laurie Daly went high and fell off of him. Brett Mullins, well, he's just gone across too far in cover. Kerrod Walters changing his mind here, slipping it back to Thorne, and wisely just gives it on to Renouf with a bit of space. Shrugs Daly's high tackle off, straightens up, and there's nobody at home once he's through that first line.
8 tries for the year, 91 in the career. What a career it's turning out to be. That blood from the mouth is probably the contact made by Laurie Daly. Well, that try, you might say, came out of a mistake. Because Kerrod, as Gary said, went the wrong way. Look on the face of Laurie Daly tells the story. Willie Kahn from right in front, no problems. So a further 2 points to Brisbane. 12-4, the home side over Canberra. Three tries in about 15 minutes. Some of these youngsters, some of the younger players in the Canberra side, they know now that they're in one hell of a football match. This is the side that's really, really running hot, Brisbane. And they've put it up into top gear now.
Well, I think the Raiders may have done some of the Broncos players a favour by scoring first. They looked a little bit lethargic that first 5 minutes or so, but they've snapped into gear now. Look like they're prepared to run it on every occasion.
Forwards in particular, Gary, they're putting little plays together with short passes at close proximity. It was, from memory, was a Canterbury play under Warren Ryan many years ago. They come at you in squadrons. Now Nagas cut down by Saylor. That brings a roar from the crowd as Mullins goes away.
Well, they're making it tough. The Raiders still coming back in dribs and drabs. Kennedy now with the ball, but really they haven't gone anywhere. 14 metres out from their line on third tackle, and they want to get some big yards now, the Raiders, if they're going to get a good kicking game or a good kick together.
Hetherington did well. Clean break by Hetherington, taken by the fullback. Now Daly. And Croker was running on Daly's hip, not backwards. The players thought that play would be blown up. The referee said play on. It's Kennedy now, near the halfway line. 5 tackles gone. As it's dropped onto the boot by Ferris. And Kerrod Walters uses Willie Kahn. Daly goes out of the line and makes the tackle. From Kevin to Kerrod and then to Saylor. It's Saylor and Nagas and then Darren Smith. And Croker is there with Wesley to stop his progress. 35 metres away from their own line, the Broncos, as Andrew G hammers it up. And Kennedy was faced with the problem of taking him head on. Here they come again over the halfway. They keep it alive again. They find Renouf again. Then it's Hancock on his outside, screaming for it, going inside. Renouf, 12 metres out. Hancock, then from Walters, Langer, the other Walters. Kevin is with it now.
Oh, a little fumble in there at the end of that play. They had Canberra stretched. for all money. The referee has ruled a little knock on. Here's the earlier play for Renouf. He's beaten 3 or 4 of them. Through a big hole there. Nandruka couldn't hold on. Michael Hancock just couldn't get in the right position. He's done the right thing, Renouf, and opted for the quick play the ball. But here it is, Kevy. Walters has just decided to slip it out. A little knock on bet by a Broncos player there trying to dive on it.
So Canberra are under siege. Brisbane. I think Gary Belcher got it right. Worst thing Canberra could have done was score as early as they did. Leave them asleep. Let's try and take them by surprise. We will steal from them at night.
Well, that's the trouble, I guess, when it goes for 80 minutes. Got to play some good, solid football to beat either of these teams.
Mamando is on in 14 as Ruben Wiki has cast the headgear. And Ferris's kick, well, you might call it a Shane Warne leg break.
Turned out to be a beauty in the end, didn't it? All he really was looking for was kicking to try to kick the ball away from Willie Kahn, and he did just that. Gave his chasers a chance to get through. And Wendell Saylor, second tackle on the 20-metre line.
Now, Michael Hancock running into the shoulder of Wiki. Driven into the ground solidly. Here's Andrew G. 35 out from his own line. For Kevin Walters. They're all looking to keep the ball alive and promote. Langer. That kick has become his trademark almost. Running one way and kicking back and across the other. Nandruku scored a try in the opening couple of minutes of play. Third minute, in fact. It was the last time Canberra saw the leaders board.
There is a player out there for the Raiders, an important player as well in Brett Mullins, who I don't think he's seen the football yet. May have touched it once, but certainly not on any of the kicks. They've gone down to the wingers. Alan Langer, I'm sure, is trying to keep the ball away from Brett Mullins, one of the best ball carriers in the game.
So here's Wolford. And a knock on by Mamando. Advantage applies. DeVico it was that made the bus for Canberra. But this is Renouf. Ferris underneath. DeVico over the top. This is Thorne now. Hancock tries to slice between Wesley and Mamando. Kerrod, Langer, Kahn. 5 metres into the Raiders territory. They're trailing Canberra 12-4. Darren Smith. Darren Smith, supported by Kerrod Walters. Having a big game, Kerrod. Alan Langer. Langer kicks across. Nandruku, there was no contest. But I'll tell you what, he looked good.
He got up high, didn't he, Nandruku? Doesn't mind leaving the ground, a good take. This is where the pressure's telling on the Raiders. Well, there he is with the leap, no one near him, steps inside Renouf. Michael Hancock cleans him up.
DeVico. Mark Oaten. He's just going to have to watch his 10 metres. This is an exaggeration I'm about to make, but sometimes the first receiver looks up and he's being eyeballed by the defence. That kick into open space. And Kahn, 5 metres out. Down to his 20. Furner's in 16. Wiki's in 4. Tackle might have stunned Kahn. Saylor. Kevin Walters through an opening. Now surrounded by the green jumpers. To the right for Saylor. Wesley's underneath. Bailey over the top. The halfback jumping on top of the pile for good measure. Darren Smith. 13 as Croker.
Away, fellas, good stuff, well done.
Jason playing out in the centres when David Furner was past fit to play. Lazarus now. They start to build. Langer goes for the grubber kick. And Canberra got the good fortune of the bounce. And a penalty goes to Canberra against the marker.
Well, Alan Langer's the man. He's not happy. Tries this little grubber kick. Just ricochets there. Cleaned up in the end by David Boyle. And that little shove there from Langer, that's what gave the penalty away.
So Jason Burnham has gone on for Canberra, taking the place of David Westley for the time being. 12 points to 4, 2 tries to Brisbane. Hancock and Renouf, 6 minutes apart. That was the reply to the try by Mandruku at the 3rd minute. Heavy tackle there on Momando. Now, he lost the ball getting up. Did it have any help?
Well, Brad Thorne's got a pat on the back from Kerrod Walters. Perhaps I thought Kerrod... Well, no, that's just clean lost by Momando.
Gary Belcher in commentary with me today. Andrew G coming off as Langer spears it across the back of the scrum, and Khan is up in the back line. Mullins, the masseur, or one of the trainers, was working on his lower back for quite some time as the other players warmed up. Chris Johns is out there now. And then for Langer, now Lazarus. And in the 16 is Brett Green. Kerrod Walters again out from dummy half. Inspiring performance by Kerrod Walters today. And that's where they are as we go for Langer. And Langer had Kevin Walters outside him. He's still got a pass away. Khan gets it on. Darren Smith chooses to go back inside. Then he uses the kick. Mullins is there and then got a push in the back.
Well, he was shadowing the ball, Brett Mullins. Not sure if that push in the back is legal. In fact, I'm sure it's not. You're allowed to shoulder someone out of the way to get to the footy. There's the little kick from Smith, a good option from him, nothing better to do. Sailor's just given a shove to Mullins.
Burnham unloading for Momando.
And Brett Hetherington back on for the Raiders. Tim Sheens has used all 4 of his interchange players so far. It's not the case for the Broncos. Wayne Bennett hasn't had to put anybody apart from, well, Green's just come on and Chris Johns. He's still got Plath and Lockyer up his sleeve.
Momando, they're passing, but they're not going anywhere. Ruben Wiki confronted by the Brisbane defence. The 5th tackle. That Canberra play, I've got to say, was punctuated by a Brisbane player lying in behind the play the ball. He mightn't have come in contact with the ball intentionally, but he slowed the Canberra attack down. And now Brisbane reply through Willie Khan. Walters. And this is Green. 15 as DeVico.
Darren Smith out of back play. He's getting some treatment now for the trainer. Not looking too good. Maybe a shoulder problem. And that's happened a couple of times today. Kerrod Walters has had to run, really had no option but to, but with nowhere to go.
Langer. His kick has turned Mullins around. There's no pressure on Mullins. And he immediately went looking for Nagus. It might be an unfair comment. It might be premature. Mullins doesn't seem to be himself out there today.
No, I'd have to agree. It is only early, but we would have expected a very desperate Brett Mullins looking to do something for his side. The ball probably hasn't come his way, but on a couple of occasions he's had it. Just lacked that real bit of spark we'd expect.
Now they come down the blind side. And that is Hetherington. And a penalty goes to Canberra. Again, it's not getting off the man tackled.
Hetherington looking to unload. Kerrod Walters comes over the top. It's that extra bit of jump on from Chris Johns that's given away the penalty.
Extra bit of jump on. Is that a Fatty Vorton?
I think it is.
Straight out of his dictionary. You're not allowed to do that. Near the 30-metre line from Burnham through Ferrers into Daly. Pass might have been forward. He got it away, and it's gone on through Croker to Nagus. Nagus comes to Lockyer, throws a chancer in field. Langer is there.
Great work, Darren Lockyer. Kenny Nagus with some room to move is a real danger. Lockyer used his speed to cover that.
Now Glenn Lazarus hammers it back outside the 30-metre line. Alan Cann. It's almost as though these Broncos have been told, get a pass away if you can.
Well, they do plenty of work on it at training. And there's a penalty against Mandruku for holding Hancock down. I've got to say Mick Hancock does well to milk a few of those because he struggles so hard. The referee knows he's trying to get up. Sends the message to the bloke in the middle. Just have a look at him here. Well, Hetherington's come over the top. It's probably his penalty.
Michael was still doing the rap on the ground when the penalty had been given.
He was.
Just on that point that I was making about the Broncos desperate to unload, even under pressure.
Well, they have a lot more support player there too. I've got to say that the backup players were pretty ordinary the last couple of seasons in general, but there's always seems to be someone there now, and I guess that makes it a lot easier for someone to offload.
Look at them putting it together with Lockyer on the end of a hard tackle from Daly and Croker. They're on the Canberra 40-metre line as John Plath serves it up for Kevin Walters. And now from Plath again across for Alan Cann. And he actually ran to the Canberra defence line before he came in contact with the opposition. Now the Broncos come left. Langer. That might have come off a Canberra player. It did, but Canberra have got it anyway. Hetherington. And now Burnham. Pulled down by Saylor and Brad Thorne. 12 points to 4. Canberra try to bring it away from their own 20-metre zone. Oh, and they've lost it. Andrew G turns the defence into attack. And Canberra are back under pressure. Here comes the attacking raid. Kevin Walters. Chris Johns is there, a dummy half. He gets the order to move out of the way. And now it's Green. And then away. And here's Renoff. And now Hancock. Michael Hancock gets his second try. They just keep the ball alive. Mark Corvo couldn't handle it. And Brisbane spread the ball quickly to the left.
Yeah, that's got class all over it. Well, not that effort there from Mark Corvo. Not a great pass. He's come up with the fumble that's led to the try. Brett Green's the man. Have a look at this ball from Green around the corner. Gives them an extra man. Renoff hitting the hole and just gives Michael Hancock a couple of metres of space. He's very strong, Michael Hancock. Hard to stop. But Brett Green's the man setting it up with that ball around the corner through Lockyer. Renoff hitting the hole and then Hancock. Easy for him.
So Hancock gets his second try. Beautiful work by Brett Green. Lockyer, though he didn't have to do very much, it was under extreme pressure that he operated. Marvellous crowd in on our Mother's Day. From the sideline, Tough assignment for the left-footed Darren Lockyer. I tend to think he would have preferred it from the other side. 16 points to 4. Brisbane over Canberra. This was the try. Green, Lockyer, Renouf and Hancock. For the benefit of you people taking the live coverage. Again, a very good afternoon to our Kiwi viewers through your Sky channel. (16-4) comprehensive. So Brisbane bringing it off their own try line.
That 12-point spread is a real danger for the Raiders, isn't it? If that gets any further out by half-time, it's almost goodbye. I guess it's going to take a good side to reel in 2 converted tries against the Broncos, but any more than that, well, here is a chance for the Raiders. A mistake from one of the Broncos players and an injury.
I think it might be G, the front row forward.
I think you're right. Glenn Lazarus making his way to the sideline. There it is, Andrew G standing in the tackle. There's his left leg being caught up in it. Is that the problem? It's hard to tell from here just what's wrong with Andrew G. He's hit the ground pretty hard.
Yeah, that's what's happened. His head has hit the ground very hard. 9 tackles and 9 hit-ups for the injured Andrew G. And he has given what I believe to be, well, what should be a mandatory break. As it most times happens in rugby league, but it should happen all the time. Scrum won by Canberra. And Mullins and Nandruku combine down the wide blind side. Mullins a dummy half. Oh, he's in trouble, Mullins. He's really in trouble now behind to play the ball.
Yeah, a left leg problem. He's hobbling back. I'd suggest he may have even carried that into the game with him.
Wolford now. Canberra close to the line. They're 12 metres out. And Kennedy ran off a short ball from the halfback Ferris.
You can see that one coming from Ferris a mile away. The Broncos just closed that hole up very quickly. Corvo now, no one in support.
Gets the pass off in desperation. Canberra, 7 metres out from the try line. 5 tackles gone. They go back to Laurie Daly. Daly rolls it in. And it'll be a line drop out forced by Wendell Saylor.
Been very safe today, Wendell Saylor at the back. Had to clean up a few kicks. There's Mullins. He's not quite right. But just have a look at Saylor here. Not taking the risk of trying to pick it up and run out with it. Just diving on it.
Very close to half-time. Canberra, they really must be the side that scores next. Kennedy has done well in a beaten side so far. Now Corvo. Wolford goes to the right and Ferris goes back to the left. And this is Boyle on in 3. Now from Wolford for his captain. Short ball for Croker. Croker's 2 metres out from the line. Wolford. Ferris. Second man. Put down by Wesley. Away from Cam for Hancock. He's lost it. It's back with Wesley for Canberra. And another knock on.
Well, what's the referee ruling? That last knock on. Here's the first one from Wesley. The Broncos took the advantage. The referee's played on Michael Hancock, stepping inside and holds it. Well, he's knocked it back.
I think he's ruled, Gary, that actually Wesley knocked the ball out from Michael Hancock, and he's ruled that as a knock on.
I think he got it right too, yeah.
Now Kevin Walters inside his own 20-metre line. The 11 is Thorne. Breeze into the face of Brisbane in the first half. But they lead 16-4, and there they go, down the right of the ground. Darren Smith, the ball carrier, supported by Saylor, and then across for Langer, inside ball, and Kevin Walters is tackled. 32 metres out from the line. Brisbane, just a chance before half-time. Langer, 5 gone. The kick off the boot of Johnny Plath from dummy half. Now knocked back by Brisbane, not touched by Canberra. Thorne, pulled down, that's the turnover. Canberra didn't want to know about it.
Well, I'm not sure Brad Thorne knew it was the last tackle, but what a great effort from him. The crowd doesn't like the ruling. But here it is. Knocked back there by Kevin Walters. Can't see a Canberra hand in it, so yes, it is the last tackle still. Thorne couldn't get it away.
I think the crowd, the Brisbane crowd, thought that Croker in 13 actually got a hand to it. Jinking run by the hooker, or the halfback, I should say, Ferris. Corvo combines with Wesley. 40-metre line and no dummy half. Well, Ferris is able to get it away. Daly tries to straighten, but that exemplified what the situation is for Canberra. They've been stretched to the limits. Wolford back for Corvo, then Kennedy. Big run by him. Nandruka will get a penalty, held out of the play.
What a great run, this young Ben Kennedy. He's looked dangerous with the ball all afternoon. Have another look at this run. The linesman's been called on. Alan Langer's the man that's been called for holding back, but Kennedy there with the right foot step through the hole. A good bit of acceleration there too. And there's Langer hanging on to the jersey. Can't dispute that one. He's even made the tackle.
Tell you one thing, I'll be absolutely shocked if Ben Kennedy doesn't wear green and gold. Never mind about the green of Canberra, he'll wear the green of Australia. He's already represented the country at Union as a schoolboy, but I've seen enough of him and I've only seen him twice. He has got Australia written right across him. Ben Kennedy. Wayne Bennett with the siren sounding, heading for the sheds. Canberra will take the penalty. There's the youngster we're talking about, Ben Kennedy, former rugby union player with the Manly club. Ferner from right in front, 35 metres out, and he's missed it. So at half-time, 16 points to 4. The Broncos over Canberra. A look at the scoreboard for Laurie Daly. We'll break and we're back in just... Welcome back to the second half of the big one today. Brisbane 16, Canberra 4, 3 tries to 1. And needless to say, it is Canberra that has all the work to do. Here they are, 28 metres out from the Canberra line. The first set of 6 in the new half, making the ball do the work along the line to David Ferner. John Rebo sitting up there with Canberra Chief Executive Kevin Neal. Undoubtedly mixed feelings with that duo of spectators, as Willie Kahn comes back just outside his own 20-metre line.
Well, this is where the Raiders started the first half so well with their kick and chase. It went downhill after about the first 10 or 15 minutes. But their defence was very solid. They're going to need it again this half. They're going to need to desperately get themselves on the scoreboard early.
Canberra's missed tackles far outweighing that of Brisbane, and that of course is relayed to the scoreboard. Time in possession, they've had 8% more time, the Broncos. You'll see that's the smartness of Langer, the class of Langer. Walters can't. Reynolds on his way. Don't worry about it. He's in for his second. And go back to Alan Langer. And what looks so simple, but absolutely beautiful.
He's done what Eric Cantona would be proud of. Just trapped the ball with his feet. Slipped a beautiful short ball to Walters. Willie Kahn, seeing Steve Renouf with a bit of space, well, all you have to do is give it to him, and even Brett Mullins turning couldn't stay with him. There's that pick up from Walters, a short ball to, from Langer, sorry, short ball to Walters. Willie Kahn in good position. He's dragged a couple of defenders across, and the Pearl not looking back at all, just striding for the line. And a little peep at Mullins. Never any doubt, that's 9 for the season.
Yeah, it's a cultured Pearl, I think.
It's a good one, and they wouldn't swap him for any centre in the competition.
Well, they say
in the world.
They say there's two forms of them. It's the cultured one that we want, Gary, particularly on Mum's Day. And we've got one here today, and it's white hot. Now Willie Kahn right in front with no problems. And that try from Steve Renouf takes him to equal leading try scorer, 22-4.
Here it is again. Some Raiders players out of position there when the poor pass went to Langer. They came out of the line, just leaving half a hole for him.
Well, the start with Canberra we're dreading is a reality. And now Lazarus comes back to be tackled on his own 20-metre line. We're of the opinion that Canberra had to be the team to score next. That is not so. And I don't think they can come back from this. They're playing a tremendous rugby league side. They've got their own problems with injuries and suspension and all the rest of it. That pass was just on the line. Peter Ryan, will they catch him? Yes, they will. And here's Darren Smith. He puts the icing on the cake. I've just got a question mark on a pass to Peter Ryan, but the scoreboard says 26-4.
Well, they've touched the ball twice now in the second half, and they've scored. This is the pass on the inside that is marginal. The ref was in a good position, and the touch judge, they both let it go. Ryan there with a good fend on David Furner, and Darren Smith manages to drag himself over the line with Nandruku. That's the pass you can't see on that angle, but what a good step to beat Mullins. Mullins couldn't even get a hand to him. Peter Ryan just kept his arms free, and Darren Smith knew his momentum would take him over.
Well, this man, Kevin Walters, I hate pouring cold water on something as classical as all this, but I'm positive it was a forward pass. But Kieran Walters is having a whale of a game. Darren Smith, the try scorer. Willie Kahn. Willie might as well have stayed down here and just waited. Converts the try. Second of the second half. 28-4. Very, very talented back rower, Peter Ryan, then Darren Smith. Two minutes between tries. Let's hope Brisbane doesn't try for a personal best. Andrew G.
Kieran Walters into dummy half again. featuring heavily in that last try, and a few of them. He's getting some good yards out of dummy half. There's a good ball from Brad Thorne around the corner for Smith. But the quick play the balls, some pretty poor work from the Canberra markers has all led to Kerrod Walters looking very, very dangerous around that play the ball area.
Hancock flailing in the tackle, trying to draw the penalty. Not forthcoming this time. It's Alan Can. And a penalty goes against Canberra for raking the ball out.
There's the culprit, Jason Croker. The quick tap from Langer out to Walters.
And they keep it alive with Willie Kahn trying to step through the centre. Canberra reeling under pressure. Langer, face ball for Peter Ryan. Creaming tackle. Canberra players in awful trouble. Kerrod Walters again, Michael Hancock, Steve Renouf. Ferner comes again to make another tackle on Renouf. Now, Alan Can, 5 metres from the line. Here they come again. Ryan around the back. Kevin Walters. Canberra.
Plenty of space out here for them too.
Langer will score himself. Well, Langer. Anything on the ground. Today he is lethal.
Oh, he's a prince, isn't he, with those little kicks through. Canberra was stretched, all of them chasing to the right. Mullins wrong-footed, just a little kick in behind. And nobody predicted it bar the little fella himself. Beautiful kick sets up for him. I don't think anybody can do them better.
Look out, New South Wales. The 7 is hot. Still a problem here for David Westley.
I think it's there that Ruben Wiki must have hit his head. Come up a bit groggy.
Yeah, it's Ruben Wiki. Thank you, Gary. Should take up football commentary sometime, Belch.
It's those haircuts. They're pretty similar, aren't they?
Yeah, it's the haircut for sure.
It's like the Hancock, Kerrod Walters similarity.
Willie Kahn starting to enjoy this. No pressure on him, and that's the way they like it. Another 2 points. Well, now this is taking on gigantic proportions. Look at this bloke, would you? Do anything. It's like a yo-yo. Canberra then starting again. The bleak prospect of a huge scoreboard against them. Their worst loss ever was in '82 to the great Parramatta side, 54-3. Brisbane's biggest win over them has already been well eclipsed. They beat them by 30 points to 12 in Sydney in 1993.
Well, that was a semi-final at the Sydney Football Stadium. I played in that, and it wasn't a lot of fun, as I'm sure a lot of the Raiders aren't enjoying this afternoon. Look at that chase. 4 of them on Mullins, and he's trying to get around Saylor. Can't do it, loses the ball.
There'll be a try. There could be a try. Can he get it down? In-goal judge says no. Mullins losing the ball under Wendell Saylor's tackle.
Well, he's not having a happy day. Brett Mullins trying to go round arguably the quickest player in the Brisbane side and can't do it. Look at Hancock trying to get over. He's done a good job, Ken Nagus, to stop him.
But Brisbane, loose head and feed, scrum 10 metres out, making the ball do the work. Darren Smith pursued by Nandruku and put down on the 20-metre line. But now they've pulled them over to the right of the ground. Saylor takes one ahead, 15 metres out. Kieran Walters looking for Langer. Langer sends another forward to the centre of the ground. Andrew G. Walters now using Langer.
Oh,
Langer takes the tackle.
A big hole just outside there, looking for a short runner. Langer that didn't turn up. They're still going left through Willie Kahn, and he's through.
He's over. Willie Kahn is over. This is a harvest of tries.
Well, that reminds me, shades of Willie Kahn in an Origin match, beating a few defenders and reaching out to slam it over. Here's that Mullins error that led to the try. You don't get too many from him at the back. I'd have to suggest he's injured. There's something wrong with Brett Mullins. Hasn't had a happy one today. Willie Kahn slicing through, just got one leg held and slams it down before Mullins can get there. It's Mark Corvo. Can't quite hold him.
Four tries in 11 minutes. And now Wayne Bennett sends out a trio of replacements. In fact, I think he sent the whole bench out, hasn't he? There's four coming off. I hope he sent four more out.
Well, he did. He sent that three, and Chris Johns
He might,
well.
He might be that confident. Now, this is Khan's little Willie.
Excuse me. It's Mother's Day. Oh.
So Mrs. Khan's little boy Willie with his most difficult kick for goal, and this time he's wide. Chose the wrong iron. 38-4, Brisbane over Canberra. Big day at the office for Willie Kahn. The doctor is checking Ruben Wiki for suspected damage to the ribs. And this is Brad Thorne, pulled down on his own 20-metre line. 4 tries in 11 minutes. When has a side ever scored at that rate against Canberra before?
Well, perhaps that Parramatta side might have done it in '82, but not for a long time since. Lockyer hitting a hole. Not a good pass from Langer. Well, the Raiders there almost disinterested to clean that up. There just seems to be so much pressure from this Raiders side on Laurie Daly to come up with something in attack. There's that Langer pass that Lockyer couldn't handle.
Canberra, on one of the few occasions they've had to mount an attack on a good foundation. Kennedy, who was just back on his feet after taking a knock. Hetherington. And that is DeVico. Long passing. Daly and Ferner, two of the veterans getting together. Trying to keep the ship on a reasonably even keel. Although it's listing badly. Now they stack it down the right and the ball goes loose and the Broncos come up with it. And you wouldn't like to know who it is. Kerrod Walters again. Lockyer with quick hands. They go across through Chris Johns. Wendell Sailor slices back in.
Oh, Ken Nagus shadowing him all the way as well, knowing how dangerous Sailor is. They've gained 30 metres from that error, from that kick from the Raiders, even before it was first tackle.
This is Green. So 7 tries for Canberra. Reserve grade went to the Broncos. 20 points to 12 today. And the Broncos looking to put more points on the board as they play it on the halfway line, and Langer dummies left and then steps off his right foot, but the defence is equal to him. Kerrod Walters puts in a low kick over the head of Ken Nagus and finds the line about 8 metres out.
It's the break that the Raiders needed. Sucking him in there, Ken Nagus. Kerrod Walters just putting it in behind him. A well-placed kick too. Now the 10-metre scrum.
Not too many of the big crowd leaving ANZ Stadium. More than a quarter of the game remaining, but here they are again making a mistake, and things are going from bad to worse.
Well, Nagus lifted up and driven on his back. Just couldn't hang on to the football. Looks like he's off the field. No, just talking to the trainer.
Thorne picking it up at the back of the scrum as Langer decoyed to the open side. Sailor takes one play, and now it should be Langer. Takes control. Lazarus out wide, and then they go across the back. It all goes wrong. Who's got the ball? Renouf has. 20-metre line underneath him. Green.
When things are going right, you'd expect a Noah Nandruku intercept there. The ball was almost there for the taking, but it's just not the Raiders' day.
Hancock combines with Lockyer. Then it's Kerrod Walters. Shovels it back for Green. And Green will play the ball in front of the uprights. Langer now. He kicks. Oh, Thorne went up above them. It'll come back to the 20 for the restart.
Oh, the big fella, Brad Thorne. Thought he was one of the Bears for a moment. May have jumped a tad too early. He's on the way back down and just couldn't cling to the ball. But he's in everything.
Trailing by this massive score of 38 points to 4. 32 metres out from their own line. And the task is an uphill one. And 75 metres to the line. It must look like a mountain. Played by DeVico. Wolford comes away. And in a beaten side, the hooker has done well for Canberra today.
Well, he is a good player and very similar in style to Steve Walters. Good work from Hancock's jamming in, but Daly's got a good pass around for Nandruku. Yeah, he gets out a dummy half, Wolford. Very much like Steve Walters, his defence is solid. But still, no matter how well he's playing, I guess when Walters is fit, he'll be back in the team.
Try as they might, they can't put Wendell Sailor down. And there's a little knock on which has been detected this time. This is it.
Well, one of few mistakes from Kerrod Walters this afternoon. Very busy game.
Croker. Wolford. Running more and more himself. Burnham. Behind Ferris. They're gone from Hetherington into Momando. Now they're 15 metres from the line. And Daly fends off one. Looks to get it away. Does so. Ferris. Bombarded by Thorne. Wolford. Burnham. Furner. The last. Back into Hetherington and across wide for Daly. Daly puts the kick in. It'll be a try. I don't know that there wouldn't have been a penalty anyway. Referee Oaten gives the try. Scored by David Boyle. Laid on by Laurie Daly. And had there not have been a try scored, I fancy there might have been a penalty.
Well, it's a class player is going to come up with something nearly every game. That's the one from Laurie Daly so far. Well, I'm not sure Boyle's got that down.
I'm glad you said that.
I guess a penalty try. Daly taken out after he kicked it by Green, but Boyle does not plant that ball on at the first attempt. There, he's a little knock on first, then he comes up with the ball.
Well, there's no doubt about it. It's no try. But in defence of the referee, the in-goal judge had the call. Ferris is the goal kicker, and it's a good kick. It's a beautiful kick. 38 points to 10 then. Brisbane with this whopping lead against Canberra. Brisbane restarts of the deeper variety. DeVico brings it back.
Well, the pressure really is off Brisbane now with such a big lead. They can't be surpassed by the Raiders. And I guess it's also off the referee, Mark Oaten. Even a decision that we saw the Boyle try, well, it's not going to count for much in the match. It's purely mathematical, and probably the last we hear of it. In a closer game, he could have been under some real severe scrutiny.
Well, that same comment could be levelled at one of Brisbane's first tries following the knock-on by Kerrod Walters. When it gets to 38 points to 10, nobody seems to care. The Daly kick has been fielded by Wendell Saylor. He had to turn and chase. He did all of that very, very well.
I'd like to put a couple of dollars on Saylor eventually scoring in this game. He's seen a few teammates cross the line, and he's been chasing the ball around the park whenever they've had it. I'd like to get his name on the scorer's sheet.
G. Green. Last. Langer. Some work for Mullins. Nandruku. Brett. He hasn't got as well, he's got plenty of admirers, but I'm one of his greatest admirers. But today it's been very much a case of get the ball to somebody else as quickly as you can, and I'm convinced it's because he's not 100%. As Nagas puts it down, and a scrum will go down, giving Brisbane another great opportunity.
Well, no, Kenny hasn't had a great game, but I think he's a great player. Wendell Saylor was very, very keyed up during the week about marking one of the game's best wingers. But yeah, back on Brett Mullins, he's not quite the player we expected today. For mine, he is the best fullback in the world when he's on his game.
Kevin Walters. Now Sailor. Going in, looking for work. Just outside the 20-metre line. Langer. And turned in by Kevin. Picked up by John Plath. He left 3 of them there. Then he finds an open passage. Then he promotes Darren Smith. And Darren gets his second. Well, what about Johnny Plath?
Oh, well, we talk about their halves. They've got a couple of good ones, but he's not a bad backup, is he, John Plath? How many players did he beat with this little right foot shuffle? Ball through Langer. Kevin Walters looks for Plath on the inside. He beats 1, he beats 2. There's the right foot step again. The dummy through the hole. Could have really gone himself here. Unselfishly gives it to Smith, and wisely. Just kept beating him, John Plath, and this is why he's such a good player off the bench. When you're tired, you can beat men one-on-one with ease.
Darren Smith scores his 7th try, and the scoreboard 42-10. Darren Smith with the headgear off. 2nd try. Well, they didn't want to touch Johnny Plath. Maybe it was he was wearing the wrong deodorant.
No, I think someone touched him. Because the tackling was the problem.
This is Darren Lockyer. Willie Khan back on the bench. And it's coming as straight as a dart. Oof. 44-10. They love it, don't they? Oh, I don't like carve-ups, but this is one hell of a carve-up. And Johnny Plath, there's his try for you. He beat 3 with the right foot shuffle. Good wording by Belcher. Canberra with the restart. Green. He plays well, this boy, Gary, Brett Green.
Well, he's solid. He just takes it up, makes his tackles, and he does occasionally pop a good pass. As we saw earlier, he set a try up. And this is another player I'm full of admiration for. Peter Ryan having his best season yet, I think, for the Broncos. Always on the ball. I think that's been the difference with him. Supporting the ball, popping passes out, and his defence for a, well, not a very big forward, is just so strong.
You see, all this comes back to something that I talk about from time to time, and it's to do with Wayne Bennett's shrewd anticipation of a player's longevity. And when he was under fire, Wayne Bennett, remember he called it a day for Mark Hone and Trevor Gilmeister. What Wayne Bennett was doing was making a spot available for the Ryans, the Greens, the Thorns, back in those days, the Galeas or the Galias. He was making the progressive route available for the youngsters rather than have them go to another club and come back and hurt him.
Said it all there, right? Can't disagree at all on that one. And now the Raiders are very tough. Set of 6 for them coming off their line. That scoreline, 44-10. Who would have picked that? And perhaps a few more left for the Broncos too. They are desperate with the ball. I guess you find out just about the mental toughness of players in a side like the Raiders now. Can they keep coming at them? Can they even get another try?
I wonder what's going through the mind of a player like Laurie Daly, Gary, at this point. I mean, there are no better players in the world. And he's on the end of, at the moment, a 34-point hiding.
Well, I could suggest he'd be absolutely filthy knowing Laurie. And already thinking about his next chance for revenge.
That was knocked out by Brisbane, but knocked backwards, so it's play on. You reckon He'd like to take them on again with a few of those players missing back in the side. This is Hancock, and he's lost the ball.
Here it is, Michael Hancock, and what a solid game he's had again. The ball, he claims it's been ripped out, but difficult to tell on that angle.
Laurie might well be saying, I'll go back and get the rest of the Magnificent Seven and come back again.
Well, the biggest cheer for the day there for Alan Langer and Kieran Walters leaving the field.
They've probably been their best two, do you think?
Yeah, they're up there with them.
Canberra then on the halfway line. Daly works a rehearsed play, and nothing comes off for them. In fact, it is Saylor who's tackled with the ball. Mullins got involved in that play. Brisbane on the halfway line with Peter Ryan. Plath. Lazarus. Gee, it is. Short passing. Green. John Plath again. Can. A fend from Can. Hancock holding off Boyle. Plath. Kevin Walters. Chip and chase. Ferris turns. Walters gets it. Oh, beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff by Kevin Walters.
Well, he's just letting everyone know it's not Alfie, the only one who can do the little short kicks for the Brisbane side. The ball kick step, taking a little left-hand turn. Lockyer trying to flick it out. Peter Ryan eventually knocking it forward.
He got rid of Kevin Walters, and then Darren Smith picked him up and drove him. Little knock on at the end of it.
Oh, there's those eyes. He's not a happy man. He gave Kevy a shove, but Darren Smith put him on his back. The ball's come out.
So Brisbane set about another attack. And Lockyer just 22 metres out. They've taken it to the centre of the park. Saylor. Green one more time. Kevin Walters. Ryan. Wrapped up and put away by the number 9. G. Ryan. Ryan back now for Kevin Walters, and they make it look so easy.
Well, that's got to bring up the 50. It's got the crowd happy. Kevin Walters finishing off some good work. Andrew G with the dummy. The offload's back here to Ryan. No Shepherd there, a couple of players in the way, but no one impeded for the Raiders' defensive side. Kevin Walters strolls over. There's the big dummy from Andrew G. It's the quickest he's run in a while. He's no slug. There it comes from Ryan. Back to Kevin Walters. Under the post, 6 for Broncos 5-8.
The biggest winning margin by the Broncos. Or should I say they've reached the 50 on 3 occasions prior. Khan is back on. I tended to think that Welly might have thought the day in the office was over. 50-10. Beautiful ball by Peter Ryan, wasn't it?
He just keeps turning up. If you're up the middle supporting, you're a chance of getting the football.
That's what I used to do at Corindi, Gary.
Number 9s or the big boys?
Canberra with the shallow restart. It comes down for John Plath. We're in the last few minutes of play. Andrew G.
It's a solid hit there from Hetherington.
Plath again doing a bit of light stepping, bit of evasive work. Khan. Can. Strangely enough, in a game in which they've scored 50 points, Alan Can hasn't been as prominent as I've seen him on most occasions. Mullen.
His involvement probably hasn't been as heavy with the ball. He has popped a couple of good passes up.
No, but seriously, I don't think it's been a match where Alan Can, it mightn't have suited Alan Can, but he's, to me, seemed a lot more prominent in many other matches that I've seen him play in.
Well, certainly the ball's been thrown a bit wider, and you're right, Ray, yeah, the likes of Thorne and Peter Ryan have seen a bit more of it. It just can't get much worse for the Raiders, though.
Talking of Alan Can, he's in the middle of that Canberra buffeting. And so for G, who's played very strongly. Plath out and away for Lockyer. Lockyer about 5 metres into Canberra's half. Will they lay another one on before full time? Green pulled down by Hetherington and Ferris. Middle of the ground, 30-metre line. In for Lockyer. Croker, I think, appealing for a knock-on. Plath. Fifth tackle. Kevin Walters. Off the boot of Lockyer. Taken on the full there by Michael Hancock, and immediately that is the turnover. So this will be Canberra's last session with the football, well, given that they don't drop it.
Yeah, well, Tim Sheens would be happy just with that, I think. They have been outplayed in a lot of areas, but they've been their own worst enemies with a lot of loose passing and missed tackles and drop balls. They're still trying, and there's a bust from Kennedy.
Oh, and a great pass away for Nandruko. Nandruko looking to finish it off the way he started it, but he's cut down 11 metres out.
Great speed, Darren Smith on that chase.
Wolford scores for Canberra with the siren sounding almost. This was the break made by this young man with an enormous future.
Look at that big step too from Nandruku, beating Khan. Smith just ankle taps him and Saylor over the top, but no one gets to marker. Saylor's there and chases out too quick, and he just gets inside him, Wolford. Strolling over, almost anti-climactical that finish. He's done a good job today, losing side.
It's a fairly good yardstick. You can find youngsters in this atmosphere that have played well in a beaten team. Such is the case for the try scorer Wolford, but the full-time siren and Brisbane 50 have beaten Canberra 16 in front of a crowd of 37,248. They saw the man of the match, Kevin Walters, part of a massive victory by the Broncos over the